The beads carries a secret beyond beauty, meant for the special one. A tale of waste beads in high school, a story where beauty meets the supernatural. Part 2.
I woke up before the morning bell. I had this sharp pain in my stomach, like someone had tied a rope too tight around my waist. I reached under my pillow for my wrapper. And that's when I found them, the beads, not in the tin, not in the locker, under my pillow, coiled up, warm. I dropped them like a snake had bitten me. I rushed to the locker and checked again. The tin was still there, but empty. They had moved by themselves. My hands were shaking. My eyes started to water. I picked the beads carefully and placed them back inside the tin. I wrapped it double this time with an extra piece of cloth. I wanted to throw them away, or bury them, or report Shola, but I didn't. Because deep inside me, I still wanted them. Even now, I hate to admit it, but I wanted them. That same morning, Shola smiled at me during breakfast. I thought she was going to say something, but all she said was, "You didn't sleep well." How did she know? I thought maybe I was going crazy, but even madness has rules. And what I found out that Monday morning, it broke every rule. After breakfast, I walked to class like nothing was wrong. I didn't speak to Shola again. She walked behind me the whole way, whistling a soft tune I didn't know. She didn't touch me, she didn't talk, but I felt her eyes, always on me. We got to class. The class captain stood up to take the roll call. My chance. She went through the names one by one. Adebola, present. Kemi, I am here. Titi Adeyemo, present ma. I waited. My hands were sweating. Then I whispered loud enough for her to hear. You forgot Shola. The class captain looked confused. Who? I said it again. Shola. Shola with long braided hair. She came last week. The whole class turned to me. There's no Sola in this class, the captain said flatly. No. She came last Monday. She's in my dorm. The teacher now looked up from her notes. Titi, are you all right? I looked at Shola. She was sitting quietly at the back of the class. No book, no bag, just sitting. I pointed at her. There, that's her. But when I turned to show them, she wasn't there. The chair was empty. I blinked, stared, and blinked again. Wasn't she just... I sank into my chair. My ears were ringing. After class, I ran to the dorm. Her mattress was still there, her clothes, her bucket, the tin. But when I asked the matron for her full name, she checked her list and said, "There's no girl named Sola in this school." That night, I slept with the lights on, but the beads were still under my pillow. The school always felt alive, noisy, loud, full of footsteps, laughter, gossip, arguments. But that Tuesday, it felt like a graveyard. Nobody spoke to me at break time. Maybe they heard what happened during roll call. Maybe they thought I was mad. I didn't care. I just wanted to know who or what Shola was. After the register confusion, I ran back to the dorm during break. I needed to see her things again, to prove to myself that she was real. Her bed was still made, her bucket still by the wall, her locker still locked. I bent beside it and tried to open it with the spare key I got from the matron. It didn't work. I tried again. Jammed. I shook the locker hard. I even knocked. Then I heard something knock back. From inside, my legs turned to cotton. I dropped the key, took 2 steps back, but I couldn't leave it. I called 2 seniors nearby, Bunmi and Funke, and told them I suspected a rat or something was inside. I didn't mention Shola. They helped me force it open with a metal hanger. It popped open. It was empty. No wrapper, no food, no books, only the beads, sitting in the middle like they were waiting for me. And they were glowing, very faint, but real, like a coal fire after rain. One of the seniors hissed, "Is this what you called us for?" But I couldn't speak, because the tin was gone. Only the beads were left, wrapped into a perfect spiral. And when I bent to pick them up, I swear, they moved slightly toward my fingers before I touched them. I didn't take them, but I should have thrown them away right then. I didn't. I left them in the locker. And that night, someone or something knocked on the door to our dorm 3 times. No one answered. After that night's knock, sleep became a stranger to me. I stayed up, eyes wide open, blanket pulled to my chin. I waited for another knock. It never came. But in the morning, something worse did. Funke, one of the seniors who helped me open Shola's locker, didn't come out for breakfast. Nobody thought it was strange at first. She was known to oversleep. But when the second bell rang and she didn't show up for class either, Bunmi, her bunkmate, went to check. She came running back in less than 5 minutes. She's awake, but something is wrong. We rushed to the senior dorm. I stayed back a bit, watching. Funke sat on her bed, wrapper tied tight. Her eyes looked wild. She kept trying to speak. Her lips moved, her throat strained, but no sound, not even a whisper. The matron came, then the school nurse. They told everyone to leave the room, but I stayed by the window, watching from outside. She wrote something shakily on a paper and showed it to the nurse. I couldn't read it from the window, but the nurse's face turned pale. They carried her out later that day to the clinic, then later home. Just like that, Funke was gone. Some girls said it was malaria. Some said she swallowed insecticide by mistake, but I knew the truth. She opened Shola's locker. She saw the beads. That night I tried to sleep again, but I kept hearing something like soft anklet bells walking slowly around my bed. Not outside, inside the dorm, under my bed. In my dreams, someone whispered my name from beneath my mattress. Titi, Titi, come and wear it. When I woke up, the beads were lying neatly on my chest, glowing faintly in the morning light. I didn't scream, I just stared at them like they were part of me. They laid so softly, like they belonged there, like they had been waiting for me all along. I didn't scream, nobody else noticed. The other girls were busy getting ready for morning assembly, arguing over buckets and toothbrushes. I slipped the beads into my uniform pocket. They felt warm, not hot, just alive. I went through the day pretending everything was normal, but I couldn't concentrate. Not in maths, not in English, not even during food time. Everywhere I turned, it was like the beads were whispering. Sometimes I'd feel something brush against my skin, like someone's finger on my waist, but no one was there. That night, after prep, I lay on my bed, eyes fixed on the ceiling. Everyone else slept. I brought out the beads. I held them up, turned them in my fingers. They no longer glowed. They looked ordinary now, red and black, woven tightly with tiny gold specks. But I remembered how they lit up the locker, how they appeared on my chest, how Ronke went silent. Something in me should have been afraid, but I wasn't. I was calm. I slowly lifted my wrapper, and I wore them. I tied the knots like I'd seen girls do. The moment the beads touched my skin, I heard music, soft drums, flute, distant singing. My body felt light, my mind clear, like I had power, like I could make people do what I wanted. I laughed quietly to myself. For the first time since Shola disappeared, I wasn't afraid, but I should have been, because that night I had my first vision, and in the vision I was standing in the school compound, watching myself being buried behind the dining hall. The morning after I wore the beads, I felt different, lighter, sharper, stronger. Everything was brighter. People greeted me more. Even my voice sounded deeper to my ears. But there was also a pull, a kind of silent instruction in my chest, like the beads were alive, like they had wants. That day, we had classes upstairs. The long wooden staircase that led to the SS1 block was old and steep. Everyone knew to hold the rail. Her name was Annike. One of the girls in my class, who always laughed at me, called me Bush Girl when I first arrived. I never answered her back. But today, she bumped into me on the stairs and hissed loudly, "Shift Jor, your village spirit is smelling." I said nothing. but something inside me flared. I stood still on the stairs and stared at her back as she climbed ahead of me, and I imagined her falling, just imagined it. And then it happened.